What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a new video. And today I'm with my friend Dylan, and we're back to a new episode of the podcast. And before we get into it, as you can see by the title, we're going to be naming the winners and losers of free agency. Why don't you hit that subscribe button down below and leave a like and comment your thoughts of our winners and losers in the comment section below. All right, we got a lot to talk about today. I know we were late. Well, not late. So we decided to combine the draft with free agency because the draft already happened and a while ago, and free agency we're going into our third day. So we're going to be doing winners and losers along with like whatever else happened in the past couple days with free agency, and we're also going to discuss top free agents available to be signed yet to contracts. All right, let's get into it, shall we? So I think we should start with the losers first, and I think we should start with the Detroit Pistons. Um, oh God, what did you think of their off season, dude? Like, what was
Uh, Big contracts. I honestly would have done.
I I don't understand their thought process. So they draft, or this was before the draft. They trade the 16th, or no, they traded for the 16th pick. They traded a future first rounder, which I don't believe we know what pick that is yet. I don't know. They traded a future first rounder for Trevor Ariza and the 16th overall pick, which ended up being Isaiah Stewart. And it just didn't. I when I saw the trade, I'm like, what are the Pistons doing? Yeah, you get the 16th pick, but like, you could be bad when that pick comes. What are you doing? So I think that was a good move by the Rockets. Um, uh, yeah, I just don't
might be
understand what they're doing.
might be a steal, a first round pick there.
But I will say that Sadiq Bey and Killian Hayes were good draft picks. I will say that, Um, but
I like those selections.
I just, you know, their free agent moves is what makes them losers. Jeremiah Grant, he's not a bad player, but for 20 million, huh?
Ain't that good.
And also getting Jaleel Okafor and Mason Plumlee, huh?
Also got rid of lost Christian Wood.
Yeah, and then you trade Tony Bradley for like Zaire Smith in like a second, and then you waive Zaire Smith, which I'm hearing they're doing, or they did already. Uh, I it kind of confusing of why they did what they did, but just
They also traded Kennard.
oh yeah, that's another L. They traded Luke Kennard for the 19th pick, which ended up being Sadiq Bey. I will say if Bey turns into another version of Luke Kennard, because I heard he was like a very very good player and one of the top power forward or small forwards in the draft. Um, if he can turn into Luke Kennard, but a little better than Luke Kennard, then it's a good trade for the Pistons. But I guess I can understand maybe the thought process of trading Kennard because he's 25. I believe next year he's going to be restricted free agent. I don't know if they would have wanted to pay him. So I don't know. But they definitely still had an L of an off season in my opinion. Just too many front court players. Mason Plumlee didn't really make much sense then, didn't make sense now, or still doesn't make sense now. Jaleel Okafor, we know what he's at. We know what he is at this point of his career, just like a backup center at this point, a bust. Can't play defense, can only rebound. He can't stretch the floor. They had Tony Bradley, but they traded Tony Bradley. So they're gonna have a 3-center rotation of Mason Plumlee, Jahlil Okafor, and Isaiah Stewart. It was a weird offseason for the Pistons, but our second loser. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And on to the Pistons too. They also still have Blake Griffin.
Yeah, and Derrick Rose. Now, obviously, free agency isn't over yet, and they could possibly trade them both, but I don't think they will. But the second losers, the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls reached for Patrick Williams in the draft. 4th overall, taking Patrick Williams. Yeah, that was a reach. And then to go off of that, they've barely done anything in free agency except sign Garrett Temple.
I don't think they did anything else other than that, have they?
I don't think so.
They have. It's so minor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely a loser in my opinion. I'm not saying Williams is going to be a boss, but he could be. But a bit of a reach, especially when you have Isha, the guy that looks like he might be a promising guy. But we'll see.
We'll see how that all turns out.
They obviously seem to know more, I guess. We'll see if they right.
I guess. I mean, hey, maybe in like 2 to 3 years, he'll become the next Kawhi Leonard. Nope, that won't happen. But maybe he'll come an All-Star. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I think by then Zach LaVine will be traded because I don't think he's a superstar at all. But
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what happens with that situation. Next losers, the Charlotte Hornets. Now, why would the Charlotte Hornets be on here? They got Gordon Hayward. That's the point. They got Gordon Hayward. Now, in 2014, the Charlotte Hornets actually signed an offer sheet, Gordon Hayward signed an offer sheet with the Hornets in 2014, a max offer sheet that the Jazz ended up matching. And then now Gordon Hayward's going to be with LaMelo Ball in Charlotte. When I saw this signing, I'm like, whoa, what the hell? I thought he wanted to go to Indiana. I thought the Celtics were going to do a sign and trade with Indiana. And I'm like, okay, Charlotte, why? Why would you give him $30 million a year for an injury-prone Gordon Hayward? What was your reaction to that? I definitely was like, I was kind of shocked by that move.
I was pretty surprised too. I thought he was going to Indiana, honestly.
And to be honest, that would have been pretty cool to see Gordon Hayward and Victor Oladipo. You know, the Pacers going all out and be like, "Hey, we're gonna go get you Gordon Hayward, and hopefully that's good enough for you to sign an extension with us next offseason or whenever Victor Oladipo is able to sign an extension." But that
Pacers, have they truly ever gone for it? I mean, I know they had some pretty good teams some time ago, but they never really seemed to push for it. They never seemed to make the big moves though. Try to win a championship though.
Yeah, I believe they had the same team when they had Paul George, George Hill, Roy Hibbert, David West.
Yeah, some really good teams, but they never made the big splash move though to help out their star. like Reggie Miller, then Paul George
And now Victor Oladipo.
before his injury.
Yeah. Going off track for a little bit. I'm kind of glad the Bucks didn't go after Victor Oladipo or didn't get him. Uh, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
So speaking of the Pacers, I got them as my fourth loser, and the reason is, what the hell did they even do in free agency? I looked in free agency tracker, and all they've done is re-sign Justin Holiday to like 3 years, $18 million, and Jakar Sampson to a minimum contract. But like, what are they doing to be like, okay, Victor, we're here, we're gonna get you some help, and we're gonna hopefully you can re-sign with us next off season. I just what?
I guess Malcolm Brogdon last year's their big splash signing.
Yeah.
I guess a big splash signing. That's all they're gonna do now.
Yeah. I just
going hardcore still.
They should have.
I really like them.
Yeah. They should have traded for Gordon Hayward. Honestly, they should have done it. But I think it. But I think from what I heard, Danny Ainge wanted like T.J. Warren and Miles Turner, which was a way too much for Gordon Hayward. So I guess you can't really blame the Pacers for that. But at the same time, like, you gotta try to get Gordon Hayward. Like, maybe renegotiate. Maybe throw in like Miles Turner and maybe give up like a couple picks or something. I don't know. Do something. Because, like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, I'm just glad that the Bucks did something to make Giannis happy this offseason. Because I don't think Victor Oladipo's staying. I think they might lose him next year in free agency, and then they're going to be back in the lottery. Unless, like, they find another star to ruin.
Well, it's like Milwaukee and swing for the fences like the Bucks do with Giannis. Otherwise, Indiana's one of the teams and markets where they don't really draw the big talent, unfortunately.
They got to overpay for them.
Yep.
Or draft them like we did. I just don't know. Our final loser, we're doing 5 losers, 5 winners. The Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic have really not done anything this offseason. They lost DJ Augustine to free agency to the Milwaukee Bucks. They re-signed Gary Clark. They signed Dwayne Bacon. Michael Carter-Williams re-signed, from what I heard. But they really haven't done anything. I really thought they would be one of the teams that would, like, overpay for a player like they did with Al-Farouq Aminu. What are your thoughts on the Magic?
Well, I mean, they really didn't do anything as far as I'm aware of. Who did they draft again? They had a draft pick then.
Cole Anthony.
Oh, that's not too bad. But still.
Yeah, they're now going to have a point guard battle between Cole Anthony and Markelle Fultz. And they're going to have to make their decision quickly because I believe Markelle Fultz is on the last year of his rookie contract. So they're going to have to make a decision on whether they want to re-sign him or maybe potentially package him in a trade and get some more value out of him. Who knows what they're going to do at this point. It's the Magic, dude.
Yeah, it's Orlando.
Yeah. My thoughts exactly.
He's not a bad pick, but he's got potential. Otherwise, they didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
I'd say kind of losers.
Yeah, the Magic really haven't done anything, and yeah, that's why they're losers. They just don't make any sense. I think their time of being an 8 seed, 7, 8 seed is over because other teams are getting better. So that's what I think.
They
Um,
do. Back in as an 8 seed once again, they'll get crushed by like Milwaukee or whatever. Or Brooklyn, whoever the 1 seed is.
oh yeah. Um, teams in the middle. The Rockets. They got Christian Wood and Sterling Brown. For all I know, those are the only two signings I know that they did. The Rockets. They've been in a lot of James Harden and Westbrook demands out of them or out of Houston. Oh yeah, going back to the Hornets. There's rumors of Westbrook to Charlotte. That never happened. Thank God, to be honest, because that probably
Happening now with LaMelo Ball being in Charlotte now.
that would have ruined um Lamelo's development because they're like the same player, ball hog mentality. But James Harden wants to be in Brooklyn. Don't see that happening.
God.
That yeah. Even though I was kind of thinking Joe Harris re-signing on like $75 million or something like that.
That's a lot of money.
I know. Maybe they overpaid to potentially have his salary match James Harden's ridiculous salary. Harden declined a 2-year, $102 million extension. That's $50 million a season.
That'd be 51 actually.
It was like 2 years 50 or 2 years like 103 or something. That's a lot of money. That's over $50 million a season.
That's when I'd sign that.
Yeah, but James Harden declined and he said he wants out of Houston. So did Westbrook. He wants out of Houston as well. There was rumors of a potential Westbrook for John Wall, which would have made no sense at all.
John Wall offended that it's Bradley Beal's team now. Like, oh man. I mean, what did you expect?
You've been out for 2 years now. You can't stay healthy. You're overpaid as all hell. God.
I'm offended that I'm not the franchise player.
I don't know what's going on in Washington. I really don't.
Well, they did get. I think they got potentially to steal the draft though, and Denny Avicii.
For their sakes, they better hope they did.
He might be a steal of the draft. We'll see how he actually turns out, but
yeah,
that, and I know they got Davis Bertans back.
5 years, $80 million. I didn't even think he was worth that much.
A lot of guys have gotten overpaid this year, I'd say.
Yeah, and with the supposed revenue and going down and all that, and the freaking cap space being in question for 2021. But obviously, as you could tell, a bunch of these moves in this offseason have been preparing for 2021 offseason and free agency because there's been a lot of 1+1 deals and all of that. Next year's free agency is going to be a lot. It's going to be stacked from what I heard.
2021 free agency is going to be a lot more loaded.
Yeah, who's even all 2021 free agents? I know Giannis until he signs that extension. I don't know if he will or when.
I'd like to think he would. I mean, we built a pretty damn good team around him, but then again, maybe he won't. I don't know. Hopefully soon. I'd like to, like right now, honestly. I was hoping, honestly, on the first day that it could be announced that he would have already came out and said something. But maybe they didn't want to make it look like tampering or something. I don't know.
it's not tampering when he's on your team and.
Oh, you know how the NBA is, though. How dare you talk to your own player? 100 grand taken away from you now. LeBron can talk to AD, saying a few months earlier we're gonna get him in LA. Nah, that's fine.
LeBron James has a player option for next season. Kawhi Leonard player option. Paul George player option. Rudy Gobert, which I heard he might get an extension, is an unrestricted free agent next year. Oladipo, Drew Holiday player option. Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, Gordon Hayward. Wait, no, not Gordon Hayward anymore. Why is he on here? I don't know. Chris Paul player option. He's gonna accept that. He better. Blake.
The Bucks can give him an extension. I think I heard in February, so hopefully he signs that.
Blake Griffin player option. Mike Conley, Andre Drummond, Steven Adams. Yeah, those are some big time free agents right there. If they all accept their options, which they probably won't, depending on how like their team does. It could be a very, very stacked draft, or not draft. Oh God.
Next year is supposed to be pretty good too, actually, I believe.
Yeah, I heard the 2021 draft is going to be good, but okay. Let's move on to the winners of the free agency. And, thinking about it now, we forgot a team. We're just going to mention them now. The Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah.
They got Robert Covington for basically nothing. Along with, they re-signed Carmelo Anthony. They got Derrick Jones Jr. They did pretty good. They got Rocco, they needed a wing. They needed a wing who could defend and shoot threes. I think they did pretty good. What do you think about Portland?
They did pretty good, I think.
They finally traded draft picks.
They also got Harry Giles.
Oh yeah, they also traded for Enes Kanter. Enes Kanter's back.
In Portland.
Yeah. Last time he was in Portland, they made the Western Conference Finals, but they just didn't have enough firepower to get past Golden State or even win a game.
They had more talent. They would have. I guess it's more if they didn't have to play Golden State and that powerhouse team, they probably would have made the finals.
Yeah, Harden would probably have like 2 rings right now if Golden State didn't exist.
If Portland would have won, let's just say Portland would have beaten the Warriors. Who did they play? Was it Toronto? Was that the year Toronto unfortunately beat us?
I don't remember. I think so.
I thought that was that.
Yeah, it was the year before they signed Carmelo Anthony. Yep.
Okay, I think Toronto would have won. If they would have made it. Let's just say for some reason.
Alright, yeah. But now let's get into the winners. The Bucks are our winners. Surprisingly. Oh, you're Bucks fans. Listen us out. Hear us out. Got Drew Holiday. Big upgrade over Eric Bledsoe. We also got some quality depth on our bench and also just overall with Drew Holiday. Sadly, Wesley Matthews left, and sadly the NBA fucked us over with the Bogdan situation.
Yeah, Bogdan Bogdanovic, unfortunately.
But I still think that we are better than last year. I love the Bryn Forbes, DJ Augustine, Bobby Portis signings. So we'll just see
Brent
how we
Forbes,
do.
Brent Forbes and Bobby Portis might be the more underrated signings of free agency. Bobby Portis brings a toughness to the
Yeah,
team. Also showing to be more of a floor spacer now as well.
good thing we don't have Nikola Mirotic.
And he's only 25 as well.
Yeah,
Wanted Bobby Portis back in the 2018 NBA draft. But we took Rashad Vaughn. Yay!
he's not even in the NBA anymore.
Yeah. He had like one good game, I remember, and that was all he did.
I was watching that live. I watched that live. Um, but yeah, Bucks. We got winners. Um,
They also got Torrey Craig, who I think's an underrated. Offense, he might not be much, but defensively, he's great.
I don't know.
And defense on guys like Durant might be huge.
Yeah, I don't really know much about Torrey Craig, but
He's a great defensive wing.
well, I hope so. um, but another winner, Philadelphia. They got they got rid of Al Horford's albatross of a contract, and they got Danny Green, Seth Curry for shooting, and they got Dwight Howard. Who else did they get? I don't remember. I don't think they got anybody else besides Curry and Howard and Danny Green. Trying to think.
Obviously, they got Curry. Clearly, that's who they got.
But they got shooters. Well, Dwight Howard's not a shooter, but you know what I mean. Danny Green, Seth Curry. Howard just starts taking half court shots.
Yeah. Averages like 5 a game.
Oh God. Yeah.
I think they made some pretty good additions.
Yeah.
They lost Richardson though as well. That's kind of a loss, but
Yeah, but you know, they got shooters. And they got rid of Horford's contract. I didn't think they would ever get rid of that, but then our next team, who's a winner, OKC, took it on. And obviously they took it on for draft picks and hoard like the whole 2021 draft.
yeah.
God, Sam Presti, if you ruin if you ruin these draft picks, I mean obviously they're not going to be drafting every single pick. They're going to be either trading the picks to move up or trading them for players. And you know, this won't happen, but let's say like Giannis doesn't sign and he wants out after this season, and let's say we do a sign and trade or something. Oklahoma City would be a team that I would go for, and I would ask for every single draft pick that they have claimed over or for the next like 6 years. That's what I would be asking for. Every single draft pick you own in the next 6 years is ours, and you can have Giannis along with Shea, and also you give us Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. That's the kind of value that Giannis is like 20 first round picks that they got.
People would probably say like, "Whoa, that's a huge overpay." Well, here's the thing: he's only 25 and he's going 2 MVPs.
Yeah.
Only 2 other guys in NBA history have ever done that: Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and LeBron James, and now Giannis. That's how damn good of a talent he is. And
Yeah.
he's still very good in the playoffs, even though he kind of maybe he struggles a bit, but he's still good though. I think helping guys like Drew Holiday and should definitely help him out more. I'll be honest, develops more of his offensive game as well. which
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's doing.
Yeah. Speaking of LeBron James, let's talk about Le GM, as people call him. The Lakers are winners.
seems seems to be working out. I'd say.
Yeah, the first move that they'd made was getting Montrezl Harrell on a 2-year $19 million contract with a player, or I think it was a player or a team some kind of option for the second season. Um, they got Wesley Matthews, sadly. They traded for Dennis Schroeder for basically nothing, and they traded JaVale McGee for 2 contracts that are non-guaranteed. They can waive it, clear cap space that way, I guess. They traded for like Jordan Bell and like Alfonso McKinney, I believe they were. I know Jordan Bell. I just don't remember the next player. But
they got Marc Gasol.
Marc Gasol and yeah, that they're set. They traded JaVale McGee to Cleveland to clear cap space to do that. They still haven't re-signed Anthony Davis, but they're going to. I don't know why Anthony Davis is taking so long.
Same, but oh well.
Let's just say Anthony Davis turncoats and goes somewhere. Oh my god.
I feel like Chicago actually. Then Chicago become winners.
Yeah, definitely. And the Lakers would become losers. The Lakers would be losers in an instant.
Yeah, but I doubt that's happening. But if he did leave the Lakers, I think the Bulls would be his most likely destination because that's where he's from.
Yeah. Our next winners, the Phoenix Suns. Now, the one thing that I will say they took an L on was Jalen Smith, their 10th overall pick in the 2020 draft, who's a power forward. But otherwise, they did pretty damn good. They got Chris Paul to pair up with Devin Booker. Very, very good move. They got Jay Crowder on a 3-year, $30 million. And they got a pretty good backup center in Damian Jones from Atlanta. And most importantly, oh yeah, they also got each one more. But most importantly, they keep Devin Booker happy by trading for Chris Paul. And if they make the playoffs, it'll be well worth it because it'll be like their first playoff berth since like Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire era.
2009, 2010 or something.
Yeah, when they were both old. Yeah, that would be it. So they keep Devin Booker happy. They get Chris Paul. And I think Chris Paul is going to be very good for DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker. Just leadership and, I think it'll be a great fit for Phoenix. I knew I was sad when we didn't get Chris Paul, but then I'm like, you know what? We got Drew Holiday.
We got Drew Holiday, who even you could argue might be better because he's younger. He's only like 30, 31.
He's 30.
30, yeah. And if we got Chris Paul, that's pretty much the only move we can do. So maybe it worked out. Actually, I think it worked out actually.
Yeah. So
I actually wanted him, but I think it worked out. We got Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
That was our timeline.
Oh yeah.
30, we have him for a good. You can get a good solid, probably 4 to 5 years on him easily before he starts really regressing, I should say.
All right. Well, We covered the losers and the winners and the in between of the free agency. Now there's still some quality free agents left. We're gonna go over them right now. Anthony Davis, who probably 99.9% will go back to the Lakers. Brandon Ingram will probably go back to the Pelicans. DeMarcus Cousins, Dario Saric, Hassan Whiteside, Markieff Morris, Taj Gibson, Isaiah Thomas, Reggie Jackson, Kyle Korver, Andre Roberson, Wayne Ellington, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Ersan Ilyasova, Matthew Dellavedova, Shabazz Napier, Langston Galloway, Shaq Harrison, Dwayne Dedman, Frank Kaminsky, Brandon Knight, Thon Maker, Denzel Valentine, Joakim Noah, Rondae Hollis Jefferson, the GOAT, Taco Fall.
Denzel Valentine, I think he resigned with the Bulls.
Well, it doesn't say on here, but okay, I'll take your word on that.
I've never seen that.
Rondae Hollis. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'll continue.
Rondae Hollis Jefferson, the GOAT, Taco Fall, Kai Bowman, Dion Waiters, Frank Mason III, Alonzo Trier, and Emmanuel Mudiay are the top priority free agents still left on this list. But obviously there's going to be more. There's going to be like undrafted players and all that from the draft and all that. But they'll probably be in the G League and sign to two-way contracts. And there's probably more that aren't listed on this list. But obviously the Bucks have filled out their roster, so there's really like no chance we get any of these players.
The only way we do that, I think, was we'd have to move DJ Wilson somewhere, which I hope we do.
Yeah. I want that to happen.
Get rid of Wilson for, even if it's like a heavily protected second-round pick, I don't care.
I don't care, yeah.
Or the team's washing machine, I don't care.
A copy machine.
And then
the Kyle.
We get two spots where we can sign two guys on better minimums.
The Kyle Korver trade for when he got drafted, a copy machine.
Yeah.
And Summer League funding, which the Summer League obviously isn't happening this year because of COVID and the draft just happened and it's wintertime. Unless you want to do a winter league.
Winter league. Fresh courts with the freshest snow.
Yeah, that's mainly like the Summer League is actually a really good place for undrafted rookies to get noticed. So that's kind of like the downfall to all these undrafted players this year. They don't get a chance to play. Huh?
With no March Madness as well. I mean, some guys lose their stock because of March Madness, like Dante DiVincenzo was a big part of that one.
Yeah,
if it wasn't for his Madness heroics with Villanova, he probably would have been probably a second-round pick or maybe drafted. And his heroics at Villanova got him all the way up to, what was that, 17 by the Bucks?
Yep, 17th overall. And I was happy. I was kind of happy about that.
I remember seeing like, oh, hey, that's the guy who dominated at Villanova in the March Madness. I was pretty happy about that, and I still am.
Yeah, but DJ Wilson, I was not happy about that pick.
That was 2017, right?
Yeah, that was 2017. Instead of DJ Wilson, I wanted to hear Jarrett Allen from the University of Texas.
That's exactly who I wanted to.
Yeah.
I wanted Jarrett Allen because we needed a center.
Yeah, and Henson and Monroe weren't cutting it.
Yeah, I wish we could have told John Horse about that one a little better.
Yeah.
Or however that one.
And Jarrett Allen would still be on this team probably to this day. But maybe we wouldn't have signed Brook Lopez. Who knows?
I feel like Brook Lopez would still be signed just because he'd been dirt cheap and he's a floor spacer. Kind of like what the Heat do have with Bam and Kelly. Kelly being the
Yeah.
fourth, their Bam kind of being the other way around. Maybe that's somewhere like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, trade DJ Wilson, get his salary and that. Nice thing about that is we'd be able to get two more guys on better minimums, which could be a lot more endear.
2 more.
Well, yeah, 4 million. Better minimums are only like 1.6 million.
But isn't our roster full right now?
We're at 14 guys. That's the
Oh.
most we can go. I think we're hard cap, but you're at DJ Wilson, I believe. That lowers at 4 million. Assume we don't take back any salary, and you'd be able to get two guys on better minimums.
True.
And I think the Bucks should definitely 100% do that. DJ Wilson's basically at this point damaged goods. Getting two guys on better minimums, I think, would help us out a lot more.
Yeah, I think that would help out too. Like maybe get an Andre Roberson and like a Dwayne Dedman. That would help out.
Or do like if you wanted to bring back like a guy like Kyle Korver and get Dedman, something like that, be good too.
Or get the GOAT Taco Fall.
Yeah. Korver's 3-point journey would be, I think, would still come in handy.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we don't have a spot unless we get rid of Wilson, which I hope we do. I hope John Horst has a trade up on that one.
Yeah.
Maybe Detroit or someone. Or Chicago, or I don't know, whoever.
True. All right. Well, I think we covered everything we needed to.
Yeah.
So, if you watched this far, which you probably haven't, but anyway, make sure to like this video, comment your thoughts down below of free agency, and this is being recorded on 2:12 in the morning on Monday, November 23rd. So obviously, moves are going to be made in the afternoon, but we'll get to that after all this craziness. We'll probably do another free agent video, but we don't know. We'll have to plan that all out and stuff.
We got some other stuff that we could probably talk about as well.
Oh yeah.
Some other
But
But we'll do that for a different one, for a different video.
oh yeah. So subscribe, turn on those post notifications so you don't hear our beautiful voices again. And like this video, and peace.
Adios.